Welcome back Friday, welcome back weekend, and welcome back Happy Friday America. We were gone for a whole week there due to being full send on some of our other programs. I did want to just take a moment while I'm starting off this episode to wish my good friend a happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
It was your birthday today in history on the last episode, and I was really excited to premiere that. But unfortunately, I was unable to do that.
Yeah, I got the week off last week for an unexpected birthday gift.
And I had a question, too. You also share a celebrity with somebody.
A celebrity with somebody.
A birthday with a celebrity.
Yeah.
And that would have been Prince.
Prince, yeah, Purple Rain, baby.
Yeah, so you knew that?
I did know that.
Okay, so you knew that. So I wanted to start off with that and also just congratulate you for being an awesome human being. You're 35 now. You've been looking in the mirror for years. You're a man of action, and I respect you for it, man. So I did want to bring it in with that.
Thank you.
Welcome back to an awesome episode of Happy Friday America. Definitely excited to be here. I feel like it's been a while since we've been in. And I know I was just talking about him, but couldn't do it without Kevin. Can't be canceled. Batstone.
Well, happy Friday, America. Happy belated to me, I guess. And happy Flag Day. What a fun holiday that doesn't really get celebrated that much. Got this amazing flag over my shoulder here. The great US of A. That's what we do. We kick the weekend off right. Happy Friday, America. Let's go, Art.
Today in history, what we had going on, 1775, the Continental Army Forms. U.S. Army first forms as the Continental Army to fight the American Revolutionary War. You know, we're going to keep touching on these big pivotal moments in American history.
Great stuff.
And not too far off, 1777, the U.S. Continental Congress adopts the Stars and the Stripes, hence why it's also Flag Day.
Yes.
Because on this day is when we actually did the Stars and the Stripes. It was designed by Francis Hopkinson, and it was replacing the Grand Union flag. So
beautiful.
That's what I thought was kind of interesting as Flag Day, and that makes sense to why.
It makes great sense. Yes, we have this beautiful flag right here. See it?
Gorgeous. Represents so many things that I love and challenges that us as humans can all overcome. Moving forward, now this one was kind of fun. In 1989.
I was 7.
You were 7 when
days old.
7 days old.
Yes.
And the groundbreaking begins in Bloomington, Minnesota, on the world's largest mall, the Mall of America.
It's massive.
Now, that mall is 5.6 million square feet.
It's huge. They got like a roller coaster in it.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. But it got me to searching because that was 1989. I'm like, there has to be bigger malls now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I searched the largest one in the world. Listeners, viewers, would you like to take a quick guess where that is? It's the Iran Mall. It is 21 million square feet.
Yeah, they have
massive.
They have some massive malls out there in like the United Arab Emirates and the Middle East. I've seen a lot of them. Like the Grand Tour guys go over there, and you can get great deals on like watches and whatnot. Big malls out there.
Huge malls, big money, big oil money out there. And then I'm gonna drop 2 different movies dropped on this day. One in 1996 and one in 2002. 96, Cable Guy came out,
movie.
Starring Jim Carrey.
So good.
There's a lot of class, but he's a major creeper in that movie.
Well, he's
kind of like a major creep.
Steven.
Yeah,
he's like trying to be buddies with the guy, and he's he's a major creeper.
Yeah, it's bad. That's bad.
Yeah.
And then the Bourne Identity.
That was pretty good.
Comes out in 2002. Obviously, Matt Damon, and I always thought it was Damon until I spelled this.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know that.
No, Matt Damon.
Correct.
And so that is today in history.
Well, great wrap up there of history. Always fun little segment to kick off the show. I got some not so good news. You know, my good buddy Joey Chestnut, I was talking about a few weeks ago when he won the Bologna Eat-Off.
Yeah.
I was really excited for him to go for his 17th mustard belt here coming up on the 4th of July and the annual Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Competition in Coney Island. Well, unfortunately, Joey Chestnut is not going to be able to attend this event.
Okay.
He has been essentially 86th. He's been banned from attending this event because Joey Chestnut signed a deal with the rival company, Impossible Foods, which is a vegan meat alternative company. They do vegan hot dogs and vegan
I don't
burgers.
know how I feel about that.
So he signed a deal, a pretty large deal, I might add, to have a sponsorship with them. So this now contradicts him being able to participate in the Nathan's hot dog eating competition because he's sponsored by Impossible, which is a competition.
So what is he like full send, full commit? Like he is no longer eating?
No, he's still eating meat. I mean, he just ate bologna a few weeks ago.
But he just can't participate in a competition.
Just can't participate because he has it'd almost be like if you were in a Coke drinking competition and you're sponsored by Pepsi.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that either.
Yeah, it wouldn't look too good.
So I don't know. A lot of people are kind of upset, and they're like talking about boycotting this thing because there's a lot of big Joey Chestnut fans out there. I mean, this guy to this day holds a record of 76 hot dogs eaten with buns in 10 minutes. He did it in 2021. Last year, he ate 62 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I mean, just incredible numbers that Joey Chestnut puts up. Now, I feel like with him gone, it really busts this race wide open.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that his competitors are happy that he's not going to be in this race this year on the hot dog eating. So Joey Chestnut's out. I don't really like it. Kind of a bummer. I'm not watching it this year.
I mean, it might be one of the best competitions that this sport has seen.
It's possible.
Can we consider this a sport?
It's a sport. Competitive eating is a sport.
It's a sport, yeah. It might be one of the most, like, even playing field that we've seen, and one of the most, like, nail-biting ones. I don't know.
Could be.
That's what you get when you sign deals. You have to look at the fine lines, and sometimes you have to make sacrifices to make some other things happen, and it sounds like he made his choice.
Well,
supporting the Impossible Burgers and that type of meat was more important than competing to him, apparently.
I bet you it paid more money to sign the deal with Impossible than it did to stuff his face full of hot dogs. So, he had to calculate what move was best for him.
And then, really which one has a better health benefit, because we don't know, how the fake meat, what kind of health benefits are.
There's some shit in there I can't even pronounce, so it's probably not so good.
Is that even okay to eat? I don't know. But moving forward at a tremendous speed.
You're going somewhere fast.
Yeah. We have a father and son duo breaking records in South Africa for fastest drone ever created. Now, it just really caught my eye because I'm sitting across the table from a man who absolutely has a need for speed. We went to K1 racing on his birthday.
It's fun.
And so when there's something fast happening, I'm like, Kevin has to hear about this.
Yes.
And so this was actually kind of cool. This drone, it was created by Mike Bell and his son. Mike Bell is an architect who designed the Mambella Stadium where the 2010 FIFA World Cup took place. They 3D printed it, and I watched the video on this thing, and it was really interesting because the mechanical issues that they had to constantly overcome in order to get this thing going, like the first time they ever tried to get it going, there was like a wire fire, like it lit up and burnt, and like that happened like 3 different times. It was like a year's worth of work putting into this thing. So either way, they got it dialed in.
Pretty badass.
And they got it up to speed. Now, the average speed of this thing was 298.47 miles per hour. And how they did this is they went with the wind direction one way and then back in the same direction to get these times. But it actually did clock at one point 317 miles per hour on one of the journeys, probably with the wind to its tail.
Wow. So
it's super fast. How they're going to be using these things, I'm not 100% sure, but it just goes to show you, with a 3D printer, enough time and money and resources to spend like a hobby doing this, like you could really make a lot of cool stuff with these 3D printers.
I would agree. I mean, that's pretty cool. And he's obviously doing some creative camera work with it that can be seen on YouTube and Instagram. So they're kind of cataloging this and doing some cool things. And hey, it's a father-son. He gets them outside, he gets them active and doing things and building things and trying to do thrilling things like going fast. Yeah. So that's pretty cool, man.
Keep the speed alive.
I'd like to take a look at what this thing looked like and kind of see him ripping.
So kind of, if I could describe it, it's 4 fans.
Yep.
And it looks like a rocket ship.
Okay.
And so it takes off like vertically, and then as it gets going, then it
tilts.
Yeah, then it starts flying like that.
It's pretty amazing.
So that's how it's actually set up. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, man. Yeah, that's.
And they made one before, and then that one had some records, but this is like the second version of it, and it's a little bit bigger, a bit faster.
Over 300 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's fast.
I mean, that's like NHRA speeds. That's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, no, that's really fast.
Yeah, that's definitely fast.
And then Rush.
David Rush. I mean, look.
Rush is fast.
It's basically just it used to be Kev's Random Records. Now it's just the David Rush
now
segment.
It's Rush Records.
Since you've last visited with us, David Rush has added 3 more records to his
count.
In
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, he's got
Okay.
3 more. So we're going to start with his most recent one, and then I'll backtrack a little bit. So Dave basically created a new record for Guinness Book. He tried it 5 years ago, and Guinness said, we're not going to recognize this as a record. Basically, the idea of it was to stand on a balance board blindfolded and make catches. Okay?
What kind of catches? Like a football?
Yeah, just catching like tennis balls and shit.
Okay.
He went to Guinness 5 years ago. They said, nah, this isn't worthy of a record that we're going to have our name stamped on it. Well, Guinness went back, took a look, and they said, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to say a 6-minute time limit, and the goal is 250. if you can catch on a balance board, he's balancing. It's like a piece of wood on a bucket, right? Blindfolded, and you're making catches. 250 is the goal to beat 6 minutes. Okay, Rush said, I'll take that. Rush did 437 catches.
In 6 minutes?
In 6 minutes on this balance board. Or on this board on like a bucket.
Yeah.
Links down below. Definitely watch it because Rush does a good job with his videos as well.
Okay, and you got more.
Yes. So that was last week. So Rush is currently at 176 records. He's closing in on the 180. He's only got 4 more to go to catch Sylvia Saba. He's chasing 181 to be the all-time.
Is Sylvia Saba out there doing stuff right now,
No, I think he's just like chilling, and he knows that Rush is catching him.
Come on, man. He has to have heard his news. At least go get one more or something.
He's going to have to do something.
Just go get one more to, not...
David Rush is in a rush.
Oh, man.
So here's some of the other cool ones he did. He inflated balloons with his nose, okay? So he had to use his nostril to inflate balloons. He was able to do 28 balloons in 3 minutes or 180 seconds.
Sounds like you'd pass out.
Yeah, think about that. I mean, you're putting a balloon up to your nostril, and you're doing and you're blowing up a balloon that way. Not only a balloon, 28 balloons.
You're going to pass out.
I don't even think I could blow up 28 balloons with my mouth in 3 minutes, let alone my nose.
Yeah, that's crazy. And is he tying these things too? Because the tying technique really does take up some time.
I didn't see. There is a video of it. I don't know if he just had to blow them up and tie them. Maybe he blew them up and handed them off.
It was a separate balloon too, because if you re-blow a balloon, like the elasticity is easier to blow.
Yeah, no. 28 separate balloons, 3 minutes with his nose. Okay, the other thing he did is moving water by hand. Okay, he was able to move in 30 seconds. He had like a bucket of water, and he had to move that water into another container. And he was able to move over 3.7 liters in 30 seconds with his hand, just one hand. Not just splashing it like he was doing these cupping techniques to move this water.
Okay.
These records are insane, but Guinness has certified David Rush now holds 176.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
David Rush, I know we haven't heard the last of you.
No.
And
he's breaking Sylvia this year.
I think that's pretty badass, and I highly encourage him to keep going on this.
Hells yeah.
So moving on to the Would You Rather for the week. I guess people had 2 weeks to vote on the last one.
Yeah.
So what were the results? So I kind of forgot what it even was.
Yeah, so going back 2 weeks ago now, over on Twitter X, we put up our polls and, of course, leaving comments down below. So we asked our viewers 2 weeks ago, would you rather dance to walk or sing to talk?
Oh, yes.
And unanimously, 100% of the votes and the comments down below came in that people would rather dance to walk. That's what you went with, of course. That's what majority of people went with. That's what makes the most sense to me. When even though I went with sing to talk, because that was me personally if I wanted to choose one.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, everyone else singing to talk might get a little bit annoying and
but
quite
watching
alarming.
People dance everywhere they went would be pretty
like
funny.
like moonwalking out of the
you're
RTD.
You're like, damn, that walk really has a lot of flavor to it.
And you can put your own flavor on it,
Yeah.
It could be, like humping air or something. Okay. And just doing things when you're getting on and off the elevator.
Spicy. Yeah, that's a little spicy.
It's a Friday, right? People are excited.
People are excited for a Friday, man.
So that's what we had. What do we have for the Would You Rather this week?
So it's a reiteration of something similar we've covered in the past.
Okay.
So in this one, though, you're either going to be mega rich. Now, I'm talking about like yacht rock rich, where you can do whatever you want, but you're guaranteed to die in 20 years. But you're just like, you could live that life, right? That rich life. Or you are guaranteed to live to 100 years old and live a moderate existence. Like, nothing too fancy, you get by, but you're guaranteed to live to 100. So which one are you going to pick? Mega rich for 20 years and then die, or guaranteed to live a long, humble life?
Normally, I would take the humble side, right? The slice of humble pie. But I don't really want to live to 100, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
This world's headed to hell in a handbasket, and I don't think I want to be around for another 65 years. That said, I think that this question really is going to pertain to the viewer's age.
Yes.
Because if you're one of our older viewers, closer to your 50s or 60s, 20 years, it's a full life for them. Right, I'm 35 now, so that would put me at 55. I'm going to take the 20 years. I'm going to take the mega money, which I normally wouldn't go with.
Okay.
And I'm going to do cool things with that money.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to just sit around and I'm going to do cool things with it. I'm going to do some exploration. I'm going to do scientific research. I'm going to do some things with it that are really cool. Because it's nice to have money, but if you don't do cool things with it, what's the point? So that's what I would focus on for the next 20 years. Setting myself up, doing research, trying to do some amazing things. I'm taking the money.
You know what? I'm actually going to agree with you this week. Because as we get older, life gets a little bit harder, and to be able to live that, there is no restrictions lifestyle for 20 years and just being able to go at it. Plus, you could, I agree, really donate and move some of this money into helping humanity and making a long-lasting impact that could potentially help people for centuries after your life. And
Yep.
then you're also like Tupac Shakur and everyone knows who you are forever.
Yeah.
You know? So
I think that's the move.
So I'm actually going mega rich. Some may say MAGA rich. And I'm going to die in 20 years as a filthy rich, young and healthy asshole.
Yeah,
Maybe not the asshole part. I don't know why I wanted to throw that at the end there, but
just because you're rich doesn't make you an asshole.
No,
unless
doesn't.
you choose to.
It doesn't. Yeah.
It's always a choice, of course. And viewers, let us know what you would choose over on Twitter X, Happy Fry USA, or just leave a comment down below. Are you going to take the money and go 20 years, or are you going the distance and live modest to 100?
Yeah. So with your money, are you going to help provide internet to the world by chance?
You know, it's a good possibility. Internet's coming a long way, and that's a great segue into this next article here. So there is a remote Brazilian Marubu tribe of about 2,000 people that were elected to do basically a guinea pig study.
Okay.
And so this is, we're talking mud huts. We're talking, they're living in bamboo shoots and, just off the grid type stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Not real well technologically advanced cultures.
Mm-hmm.
They decided to drop Starlink in there, which is a satellite internet service, and, kind of observe what happened to this community of 2,000 people when they had internet. And basically...
So they, gave them some computers.
Yeah, cell phones.
And here's
electronic
technology.
devices. Yeah, here's a tablet, here's a phone, laptop, whatever.
And no restrictions. Everything is free to
internet, just
look at everything.
Good luck. Here it is. Here's the internet. This is what the rest of the world uses.
Oh my
gosh. They're like, oh shit. So basically this was a 3 to 6 month observation period. Okay. And what they learned is the younger demographic, to really no one's surprise, basically under the age of 40, became highly addicted to pornography, masturbation, things of that nature, because this is something they never had before, right? Think about it, and then all of a sudden they have instant access to the dark arts. I mean, porn is everywhere. It's
they're
absolutely
looking
everywhere.
up things they never even thought of before.
They probably started with just modest shit too, like
boobs.
boobs,
sex,
big
butt,
big
booty Latinas,
and started going down the rabbit hole of pornography. And we've all been in that rabbit hole. It's interesting at times.
You don't know where you're going to go until you start getting some ideas. And the internet is full of ideas.
Yeah, and then it recommends videos. It's like, oh, maybe you like this one. And then it's a whole thing. So this culture, the mud huts, 2,000 people jerking off, watching pornography uncontrollably. The older folks became, enveloped with researching things, how to build this, how to build that.
Okay.
Really taking a lot of their time away from the day-to-day needs on the tribe because they were so distracted by the internet. And just like, oh, what's this? Basically, it's what's happened to the rest of the world. When you think about what the internet's done, they just did it in a shorter period of time. We've seen the progressions of pornography and Siri and AI and all this shit. We've been watching it grow, where these guys are just dumped all of it at once.
Well, yeah, and they didn't even how do you even stand a chance?
Yeah.
I mean, because we had dial-up. I guess it's similar to kids nowadays growing up because they have everything. So where's this tribe at now? Or are they still did any good come out of the knowledge that came?
Not really. I mean, I guess they learned a couple things that maybe gave some tricks about hunting and fishing and things that could help them around the tribe. Okay. But really what they found out is that people became depressed. They became very divided. They became angry with each other and very opinionated. Sound like your day-to-day life,
it does.
America?
It does sound very similar.
The internet's terrible, and this is an example of it. So what they did is they have now limited the access to 2 hours each per user per day in this tribe. They get 2 hours of internet. And however you want to divvy up, that's on you, but it's timed. You get your 2 hours.
So the people in the tribe decided this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And
not Starlink.
Yep. And this was over a 9-month period now to date since this all started. 2 hours a day is what they decided for their people. That's probably, honestly, more internet time than I do a day, Art, if I really think about it. Now, with that said, does that include streaming programs and stuff? I guess that is internet.
Yeah.
Right? So
it is.
2 hours, I think, is fair per day.
If you're watching some cooking shows and stuff.
Yeah. 2 hours of internet, 8 hours of sleep, right? There's 10 hours of your day. That gives you, another 12 hours to do other things. So, long story short, what we learned from this...
14 hours.
Yeah, 14 hours. Long story short, what we learned from this is the internet's no good.
I mean, it's definitely one of those things where it's like a tightrope, okay? I've been stuck on this for the past couple of weeks, and this is something I've known for a long time. But everything has its tightrope. Releasing YouTube content, there's a tightrope that you walk on. You can't go too far in either direction. Or and same with internet. It's like we have to balance ourselves with everything. And I bet you that people who look at too much internet all the time, they're probably struggling in person and actually interacting with people. And that's what Fox 31 News, or maybe not Fox 31, that's what Fox News found out in Indiana when they put together this little chart that I found here.
This is interesting.
So these are some things that job interviewers have experienced when recent college graduates are being interviewed.
So they've got their degrees, because we just went through graduation season.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They've got their 4-year degree, their 2-year degrees, whatever.
Yes.
They're out in the market, and they're going to apply their degree. They're applying to companies and corporations. What happens?
So, yeah, this is like first time into the real job market, fresh college graduates. These are some of the things that people ran into, or employers ran into. So 53% of all of the people struggled with eye contact.
Okay.
So
that's overwhelming majority.
So what does that mean? Maybe it means that like you're barely looking into somebody's eye when you're talking to them. Maybe like you're like looking away,
down.
or maybe you
You're
don't.
Like looking over here.
Maybe you're not making any eye contact at all.
They're just like over here, like yeah.
Yeah. They're somewhere else.
Wow.
Uncomfortable.
53%.
You know you have to have a certain level of confidence to maintain eye contact.
Well, of course.
So they're lacking the eye contact.
Yeah, that's a pretty overwhelming majority.
50% asked for an unreasonable compensation.
Wow. So half the folks out there are like, I'm worth more.
Yes.
That just shows a level of entitlement in this country.
Well, and you don't know until you ask for it, and sometimes until you actually get your feet wet.
This is most of these guys' first jobs, though.
I know, but maybe you think that you're coming out and swinging, and then you start learning these lessons in life. I'm
50%.
not really that bad on that one, because that's not like a
compensation.
Yeah, that's not like a job ending. Like, you could still get the job as
long
as you're willing to, like,
a lot of
work on the
corporations
salary.
ask, hey, what's your desired salary?
Yeah.
And they want you to ballpark it, 60, 70. And these guys are like, oh, I want 120.
Yeah. I mean, you should shoot high, but let's be reasonable. 47% dressed inappropriately. So maybe that's like baggy pants. Maybe that's
wife
like
beater.
Yeah, wife beater. Maybe that's just, a t-shirt or whatever, or like something scandalous looking if you're showing off more skin.
How is 47% of these college educated kids not going to show up for an interview dressed?
Maybe they're like wearing a hat, or they're like not manicured, or they're not like, cleaned up.
Wow.
Like I don't know what that really entails, like what's included in there.
47%. That's
Yep.
unreal.
Yeah, it's basically one out of every two. It's like half of them basically.
Right.
27% used inappropriate language.
So 1 out of 4 people are in there dropping F-bombs.
Yeah.
Or worse.
Or like saying shit.
Yeah. Just
different
not,
things.
Just not being professional.
Mm-hmm. Not being professional.
That's unreal.
Not being professional. 21% refused to turn on a camera during a virtual interview.
So it was just audio basically with a black screen?
Yeah.
20%. 21%.
21%. So basically almost 1 out of 5 people was like, I'm not turning my camera on. And then if I do, then I'm more than likely not even going to be making eye contact with the camera.
This is pretty bad.
And then this one was the least amount, 19%, but one of the most ridiculous. 19% brought their parent to the interview.
What good is that going to do? I mean, it's one thing to bring your parent to the college, acceptance.
They're bringing an ambassador with them.
This is just ridiculous. But it just goes to show you where we're at. I mean, a lot of these folks still live at home into their 20s and 30s. So it doesn't surprise me that this day and age college students are bringing parents to the interview. Come on, guys, tighten up. We're better than this.
Yeah, we're better than this. And one other shit show that the internet has been talking about, Kevin's about to cover next.
All right. So at first I didn't know what's what. So you heard a couple weeks ago, Mike Tyson had an episode in the air. The guy did enough cocaine to wipe out probably 7 men in his past, and he's having some ramifications from it. His heart's not doing well. I'm assuming it's from the cocaine. I don't know. I'm not a medical expert
or
on
just
anything.
Being in that bull beast mode like for so many years. Like,
and he just didn't treat his body well for a long time. When he wasn't fighting at his prime level. And so he started training again, because we all know he was supposed to take on Jake Paul in the Netflix fight coming up in July. That has been postponed, rescheduled for now.
Okay.
Some say
so not canceled.
No, it's
okay.
Right now Netflix saying it's postponed. They want to try to get it in around Christmas time. So basically putting it off another 5-6 months. Rumors have it Jake Paul might fight somebody else.
Okay.
They might try to, string something together. But the fact remains, the fight's off as of now. The most anticipated boxing match in years has been called off because Tyson's not doing well. He can't train right now with his cardiovascular situation. And so but the thing is, he might not be able to fight. He's going to be 58. And if he can't train at a high level, due to health issues, he's not going to be able to fight.
I think it was all just a hype train anyway.
It could have been.
It was all just a hype train anyway.
I mean, they sold out the Cowboys Stadium in Dallas for it.
Are those tickets refundable?
I hope so.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who knows? Who knows what's going on? We can't really trust too much. And if you want to learn more about that, check out the last episode of Discussion Combustion that just dropped yesterday.
It was technically last week, but it got delayed.
Yeah, it's officially dropped on YouTube. But, it would have been cool. Everybody from my generation, I believe, would have just loved to have seen Tyson.
We all were rooting for Tyson.
Smash.
Yeah.
Hulk smash this kid.
Yeah, because when this was announced, we covered it on Happy Friday, that it was coming up in July. Now it's been postponed. Kind of it kind of sucks. I was looking forward to it. It was going to be fun. But if Tyson can't fight, he can't fight. It's been postponed. I really don't give a shit who Jake Paul fights now. I could care less.
I'm never even paying attention to him anyway.
I'm good on the Paul brothers. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, better things to spend our time doing is having a blast this weekend. What do we got going on, Kev? We got Kevin James in Indianapolis, Indiana on Sunday.
Man, I love Kevin James.
Who's Kevin James?
You don't know who Kevin James is?
I don't know celebrities.
Kevin James is a great comedian. He's good friends with Adam Sandler. He was in most of Adam Sandler's movie, like Grown Ups. He was I
would probably recognize him if I saw him.
He played Doug on King of Queens.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know who that is.
Funny guy. So he's doing his new tour. Owls Don't Walk is the name of his new tour. You can go check him out in Indianapolis. I think he's coming through Denver at some point. I'd like to see him. If you want to do some jam banding and you're out in Virginia Beach tomorrow, Dave Matthews Band.
Dude, that's like the Gringo Star of the Beatles type of thing for jam bands.
He's a badass for sure. And I sell one of his wines when I'm on one of my other gigs, Old Dreaming Tree. Mm-hmm. Dave Matthews has his hands in a few things outside of that guitar.
Yep. I bet he does.
He's a solid lad.
And jam bands are cool, but I don't know. It's just that's never really been my type of music for some reason.
It's fun.
It has its place, like you're grilling in a backyard.
Yeah.
Like that's where it belongs. Okay.
With grilling.
Yeah, in the backyard during summertime. I feel like that's where jam bands should be.
I don't know. Jam bands are just fun all the time.
I mean, you could have some fun out there with them.
Just kind of hanging.
Looking at your shoes. Is that a jam band?
Yeah.
Do you like mine?
I mean, kind of.
It would not be good if people had to sing everywhere they went.
I think it'd be fun.
I don't know about that.
What do we got going on in Louisville, Texas?
The African Food Festival 2024, Louisville, Texas, on Saturday. Jeff, can you make it there? Jeff Davis, I'm calling you to action on this. Can you make it there?
I don't think he's going to make it there, but if you are in that area, African food, delicious. Definitely go check it out. Anytime there's a food festival, I mean, I get excited, and that's why it ends up making the things to do on the weekend, because who doesn't love trying some different cuisines from around the world?
Yeah. I mean, you got to get at them. What's your favorite worldly cuisine?
Worldly cuisine?
Yeah,
I'd probably have to go with Thai food.
Thai food?
So that would be like, and Vietnamese, because I like green curry, so the Thai side, and then I like the Vietnamese pho, the pho noodle dishes.
Yeah, Thai is definitely up there.
Green curry's good, man.
There.
It's pretty good.
I'm going with the Thai too.
And I like trying shit.
And then we got NASCAR coming up.
All right, we got a big one, guys. Newton, Iowa. It's an inaugural race. The Cup Series has never been to this track before. This is a big deal for NASCAR. I'm hoping it's not going to be a flop. Some people are saying that our short track package is garbage. Tune in to Mash the Gas every Monday night. We break that down all the time. But yeah, Newton, Iowa, just west of Des Moines. NASCAR is kicking it off for the first time. That's going to be fun. That's Sunday night. I'm going to be having the fellas over. We're going to be having some fun. And hopefully you
Mash the Gas, baby.
Mash the Gas Monday nights. Monday nights, audio only. It's not on YouTube yet. 2025, more to come on that. And just enjoy your weekend, America. It's beautiful. It's hot and sunny here in Denver. We got thunderstorms coming in. I love it. And thanks for supporting us here at the Discussion Combustion Production YouTube channel. Be sure to mash that subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Happy Friday USA. Twitter X, where you can get involved with the polls and follow our promo clips every Friday. That's going to be at Happy Fry USA. HappyFridayAmerica@gmail.com if you want to send us an email if you're feeling old school. And you know what? It is time to let it rip, tater chip. Enjoy your weekend, America.